You're locked into the Womanora Crush Wednesday podcast, the only weekly podcast inspiring, educating, motivating 1 million women entrepreneurs one Wednesday at a time. The WCW podcast is fueled by the purpose formula: passion plus purpose plus profit equals success. And here are your hosts, Jen and Modi.
Hey Crushes, you are listening to episode 20 of the Womanora Crush Wednesday podcast, also known as WCW podcast. And if this is your first time listening, we're so excited to be on episode 20. Wow, like 20 episodes in, 3 months later. Yes, round of applause, clank, clank, whatever. So this is episode 20, how to consistently be consistent. And we have a couple of tips for you on consistency. And consistency is the big C. It's so important for business. I mean, it is probably when you're first starting out. Oh. Madi has something to tell you guys quick.
Oh, yes. So I got a little bit of dental work done recently, and so I sound like I have something in my mouth, so I'm in a little bit of pain, but I got some good meds, so I'm doing this. I'm here. I'm present. I'm ready. So don't worry about my voice. Just worry about the tips that we're giving you tonight or today or tomorrow or in the evening.
She's full of life and full of energy. Those meds, guys, they're
the truth.
There's some say no to drugs, except when you have medical problems. But okay, so we're gonna go through these tips. We have, I believe, 5 tips, and if we give you 2 more, just count it as a bonus. Don't count it against us. But let's go with tip number 1, which is to help you build consistency. Always be taking action. Always be taking action and moving forward. I think that people consistency because they don't do something for a long enough time. They're like, oh, I need to be making, 5K a month in my first 90 days of business. Well, after they get to those 90 days, they're just like, oh, it must not be working. It's not from God. It's not working. I got to give up. I got to try and do something else, because they didn't see the fruits of their labor as quick as they thought they should have. And so you have to be doing something over a long period of time in order to see success. And I recently read that it takes, and a friend of mine also told me, it takes 10 years to be an overnight success.
At least.
So if we think so if we think of that, I mean, when was the last time you put 5 years into something, let alone 10?
Without giving up.
So without giving up. So I think the number one thing you can do is be consistent over a longer period of time. Try for a longer period of time. Take more effort, take more actions, take more steps for a longer period of time. So, Madi, go ahead with your 2.
I agree too. Tip number 2 would be to make note of things that you need to do. Okay? And what I mean by this is daily you need to write a list of things that you need to do. Even if it is that you need to wash dishes, you should probably write that down too, because people do forget about washing dishes. Okay? So what we're talking about is being consistent all the time, most especially with your brand, with your goals, being consistent. And this is a daily routine. This is going to become a daily routine. So what you would do is make notes of things that you need to do. You should be realistic about it. It could be interacting with followers on social media. It can be responding to emails, content creation. If you're working on e-courses, what are you doing in it? Write it down. Write everything that you're doing down. And then prioritize those tasks. Prioritize what's important right now. What's of importance right now. You prioritize that and work on it consistently, daily.
I have something to add to that, and so that's very important. We need to be however you need to take down things to remember, whether that's in your phone, Wonderlist, or I know iPhone has a built-in,
Nope.
I don't know if
Yes.
the built-in app to take down tasks and notes, reminders, whether it's actually in a planner. However it is that you take account in that time, you need to take note. That's however you do it, that's up to you.
I say tip number 3 would be to set the task out in a calendar or a planner, in your diary, as a reminder, as an appointment. You should be able to do that. And if you do set the task up as a reminder or as an appointment on your phone, on your iPad, on your tablet, wherever, on your computer, wherever you can see it, and it pops up at 11 o'clock, I need to take my meds. At 12 o'clock, I need to email Jen. At 12:30, I need to call the doctors. At 1 o'clock, I need to go pick up my laundry. Things like that. It really, 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 really helps, Crushes, to be consistent with setting your task out, like just laying it out. Okay, in a calendar. In my calendar, I have like what time to pray, what time to read to my kids. I know it sounds crazy, but guess what? It reminds me to read to my boys every day at 6 p.m. Okay? And I don't think there's nothing wrong with that. I don't think there's anything wrong with that. Okay? Because I want to be a present person and I want my children to see consistency in me and what I do with them, I put it in my phone every day at 6 p.m. to remind me to read to my boys. Okay?
That's awesome.
Every day I have when to take, if I'm on meds like now, woo! If I'm on meds, I have a reminder to take these meds, okay? I have a reminder to text Jen if I need to text Jen. Jen may send me something and be like, "Oh, Madi, can you remind me of this?" And I'll put it quick in my reminder. And when it reminds me, I'll remind her if need be. But usually it's not like that. Jen usually always remembers things. But what I mean by laying your task out is very, very important, ladies, to remember to put it down. Write it down. Write it down. Write everything you have to do down.
If it's not written or typed or taken down somewhere, it's pretty much like it doesn't exist.
Exactly.
And it cannot be measured and you cannot be accountable for it. So I wanted to say, if you need help in organizing, because I know some people cannot organize their tasks as in 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock. Me, I can do either way, as long as it's down in some kind of system where it can remind me. You take all the hard stuff first, which I've done it like this too. All the things that you might have anxiety, or you might be fearful, or you might be like, oh, this is so hard, I don't know how I'm going to get it done. If you take those hard tasks, and most important or hard tasks, and you put them first, okay? So 1, 2, 3, 4, however you're going to spread those out, or maybe from 8 in the morning to 12, you do the hard stuff. Then in the afternoon, you can go ahead 12 to 6 or whatever is your time slot, you could stuff, which sometimes people say that can feel like a reward to you because you've already taken care of the hard stuff. So then now, okay, I can do the more light the more less important or the easier stuff. So if that maybe that can help somebody out there to strategize in planning out their task. So we are on 3,
Task 3, yes.
which...
No, task 4. I said 3.
Oh, excuse me. So task 4, I have as the power of visualization. This is so important and can be put, I know Madi is very big on her meditation time, and so am I in the mornings. But, I mean, this is something you can do throughout the day.
Yes.
I often do it throughout the day as well. But visualizing yourself, crushing your goals, crushing these to-do lists, visualizing how that looks when you're successful, when you've achieved something, when you can go back and tell your followers, your family, your kids, your husband, wife, when you can go back and tell these people, you know, I did this, I'm so proud, I finished this, I knocked this out. Visualizing all of that really helps you to work towards your goals or work towards finishing your to-do list. And inevitably that builds consistency because you're that much closer to consistently doing something and then getting the achievements behind that or seeing the results from what you're doing. So you have to see it in your mind first. Then it's like, it's a breeze. I can go ahead and knock this out. Because sometimes if I visualize something and I'm struggling, I've even gotten the answer right then and there from just going through it in my mind to a problem.
Yes, having a planner is awesome. Okay, this is something that you can look at daily. For instance, in the month of June, I hosted a 30-day husband prayer challenge for wives, and it was 30 days. It was so difficult. I'm not even gonna lie, because I had to be consistent. You know, and as I was trying to uplift. I'm trying to uplift other wives, and I'm just throwing this stuff out. I'm putting this stuff out every day for 30 days, so wives can be prayerful for their husbands, so wives can really just love on their husbands. And it was really difficult. I'm not gonna lie. Like, I would look for things to at least try to gear the wives into wanting to pray for their husbands daily. So it was me being consistent, and I really hope that our listeners out there, I hope there's some wives that I've touched that can testify to what I was doing then. It was so stressful. Not to mention, I was working on my cousin's wedding at the same time. So I had to be consistent, and I was the one who did that, okay? I knew that my cousin's wedding was at the end of the month, but I was the one who said, you know what, I'm going to do this challenge for other wives because I think it's very important, you know? And from the feedback that I got from it, the wives were really, they enjoyed it. They like it. They loved it. I got a lot of compliments for it. Will I do it again next month? No, I probably won't. If I do it, it's going to be between me and me alone. And I'm going to do that challenge, you know? So anyways, what we're saying is being consistent. And Jen and I had a conversation recently about, like, going to the grocery store or going to Target. Okay? Everybody knows that if you are a Target fan, me and Jen are, and I know that a lot of y'all crushes are as well, you get inside that place and it's like you need everything you see.
You get inside that place, it's like, oh.
I know. That's exactly how you feel. Like, I could do it. I need it. And I feel like you need to go to these places with a list. But I know
with a list and a plan.
With a list and a plan, an action plan, that this is where I'm going to go. Because everybody knows that when you walk into the Target, you know that there's going to be bananas or watermelon right in the front. Okay.
Bananas, fruits. Well, that's if you're dealing with a super target, which is what I'm dealing with.
Right.
But a super target, you dealing with. You got your groceries on the right. They got wine and other adult beverages sitting right there behind the cart. Then they got makeup and all type of eating body Shea Moisture and all the products that everybody, Tresemme and NYX and all the products that everybody likes and loves. And so not only are you sidetracked, you see this pretty setup and you go over there, you don't have your list, you end up with you supposed to be going in there for your essentials, bread, milk, cheese, and whatever, and then you're over there in the makeup section.
Right. It's a trap.
So
it's a trap.
It's a trap.
Target knows what they're doing.
Bees in a trap. Target, bees in a trap, no list.
Target, no, do not go to Target without a list, y'all. And when you have that list, be consistent and use the list. Don't throw it on the side, y'all. Don't do it. If you said you're going to Target, you're going there to spend $50, go in there and spend $49.95. Okay? And be proud that you walked out of there at least with 5 cents. Okay?
I honestly, I feel accomplished. Like that's a goal. If I can make it out of Target
without spending over
under budget, I made it out of Target under budget. Jesus,
I'm telling you, it's like a drug. Target. It's like a drug. But consistency also requires balance. Okay. And balance requires constant attention. Balance requires constant attention. So you need to be consistent. And these tips that we've been giving you, I don't know if Jen, do you have another tip?
I have one more. It actually ends on what you're saying, and so balance and consistency. So that doesn't mean that you're supposed to run yourself ragged with these lists. That doesn't mean that you overexert or extend yourself. You have to know. My last tip, which is tip number 5, I believe, is knowing when to take breaks. So inconsistency, you have to know how you work. I'm the type of person, I'm not going to say, okay, it's Saturday, let me work on my business for 8 hours today. No, that's not how I work. I work in small batches where I could be the most productive if I say, okay, let me set aside 2 hours and I'm gonna bang out everything that I need to do in this to-do list, which typically should just be 3 to 4 things, because anything more than that, you start to
overwhelm yourself.
Overwhelm yourself. You're doing too much. But if I can bang out these 3 things in that 2 hours, I'm done. I don't want to spend an entire 8 hours straight trying to do something, because that's not productive for me. I don't know about anyone else, but that's not productive for me. Taking breaks and knowing your limitations, where to stop, where to I believe that 2 hours or 1 hour of dedicated
work,
laser-like focus work is better than 4 hours of all over the place. I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that, I'm going to touch this, I'm going to go here, I'm going to deal with this. No.
Right.
Being able to focus, drill down, and take the breaks when you need it, I think is very key in being able to be consistent.
Yes. And as Jen was saying, she went back to tip number 2 when she mentioned, let's be about being realistic with your daily task or with your daily goals, whatever it is. Be realistic about it, y'all. Don't put 10 things that you feel like you're going to do today. You're not going to do that laundry. Don't put laundry there. You're not going to do it. If you're going to be out all day, if out of those 10 goals, you're going to be out most of the day, why would you put laundry there? You're not going to do that laundry. Even if you put the laundry in the wash before you leave, what time you going to get home? To remember to put it in the dryer.
And then your clothes just mildew.
Exactly.
But anyway, you're gonna forget to put it in. You're gonna be rewashed. Everybody knows you. If you forgot, you might as well hit that load one more time. Throw some more detergent in there because you totally wasted your time. But
I believe that happens so many times to us. Moms, come on. Mompreneur. We are mompreneur. We're talking to you. Y'all already know. Y'all have put laundry. You probably have put the load on about 3 good times.
And then you come to you you're talking to yourself like, really?
I know, right? Like this is not. This can't be life.
This can't be life. This can't be life.
This cannot be life. But having a plan is what gets us in motion, moving towards our goals. And that's exactly what we're talking about. And ladies, if you're listening to us right now, this week of August, what's this week? August 8th, between August 8th and the 12th. Let's just say August 12th, Jen and I are going to be on Facebook Live talking to you all, giving you some tips about some goals, about setting some goals. You have to check us out. Matter of fact, you got to check us out just to see what we look like, because you don't even know what we look like. Some of y'all don't even know what we look like. But if you go on there.
So, Friday afternoon, you can check us out. We'll be using the hashtag goalgetter 101.
Yeah, so make sure you follow us. You get to see us for about 30 minutes. We get to throw out some good tips and some good gems for you guys, for you ladies to take hold of. I know a lot of folks have issues with goals, don't even know where to start when it comes to building a brand, and they're really, really interested in it. So Jen and I are giving this little session, this little workshop for you all and it's free.
Free 99, so don't even worry about it. Just
come. Just show up.
Tune in.
If you have questions, we will have a Q&A at the end of the session. It's going to be good.
Thanks for tuning in to the Womanore Crush Wednesday podcast. Be sure to tune in next week for Girl Talk with Jen and Modi, along with some of your favorite business crushes, more exclusive business tips, insights, creative business ideas, and doable action steps to improve your business and help you create your phenomenal life. Sharing is caring. Don't forget to tell a friend to subscribe and stay tuned for a weekly dose of the WCW podcast. Crushing hard on the Womanore and want to hear her story on the show? Know a creative woman-owned business that's killing it? Let us know at womanorcrushwednesday@gmail.com.